The Archer and the Whispering Trees. In a small village nestled by a bamboo forest lived a young, talented archer named Kale. Kale possessed the keenest eyes and the strongest arm of any archer in the land. He could hit a target from incredible distances, and his arrows flew with uncanny speed and precision. Everyone believed Kale was destined for greatness. Yet, there was one thing that consistently sabotaged Kale: the whispering of the trees. Whenever Kale was about to take a critical shot, during a competition, a high-stakes hunt, or even in his most important practice sessions, a chorus of invisible thoughts would flood his mind. What if you miss? Remember the last time you failed? The wind is wrong. Don't even try. Everyone is watching. You must be perfect. These thoughts, which Kale privately called the whispering trees, would tremble his hand, blur his focus, and cause his arrows to fly wide. He was his own fiercest enemy. Frustrated, Kale sought out an old, wise Zen master who lived on the mountain peak. He explained his predicament. The master smiled, then handed Kale a small, empty wooden bowl. Your practice is no longer with the bow, Kale. For 1 month, your practice is with this bowl. Kale was confused, but he respected the master's wisdom. Every morning, the master instructed, "You will fill this bowl with water from the mountain spring. Then, you will walk the winding path back to your home without spilling a single drop. You must keep your eyes on the water, your steps steady, and your mind quiet. If you spill, you start the day over." Kale began his new discipline. The path was treacherous, filled with loose stones and steep inclines. The first day, he was halfway down when the whispering trees began. "You're too slow. This is pointless. What a foolish task." His thoughts made him anxious, his pace quickened, and the water sloshed over the edge. He went back to the spring. The second day, he managed to get further, but the thoughts changed. "This water is heavy. My arms hurt. I deserve a break." His concentration broke. His muscles relaxed for a fraction of a second, and the water spilled. He returned to the spring. Days turned into weeks. Slowly, Kale started to change his approach. He stopped fighting the thoughts. Instead of shouting down the whispering trees, he started placing his entire focus on the water. He focused on the weight of the bowl. He focused on the texture of the handle. He focused on the surface tension of the water. He focused on the rhythm of his breath and his steps. The whispering trees did not stop, but Kale's response was different. When a negative thought appeared, he simply acknowledged it. "Ah, there is the thought that I am too slow," and immediately brought his discipline back to the water. His mind was no longer a battlefield. It was a tool used to keep the bowl steady. By the end of the month, Kale could walk the entire path and arrive home with not a single drop spilled. His body was relaxed, his movements were precise, and his mind was still. He returned the bowl to the master. Now, the master said, "Take your bow." Kale went to the archery range. He nocked an arrow, pulled the string taut, and aimed at the bullseye. Immediately, the whispering trees began, louder than ever. "This is the big test. Don't fail the master. Look how much is riding on this shot." But this time, Kale didn't argue with them. He didn't panic. He simply shifted his entire focus to his task. Just as he had done with the bowl, he focused on the grain of the wood in the bow. He focused on the smoothness of the arrow shaft. He focused on the feeling of the tension in his arm. He focused on the center of the target. His disciplined mind was a rock of concentration. The whispering trees continued their noise, but Kale was not listening. They were irrelevant, like the sound of distant crickets. He released the arrow. It flew with perfect balance and struck the dead center of the target. The lesson Cale learned wasn't about silencing his mind. It was about choosing where to place his attention. Discipline isn't the struggle against negative thoughts. It's the conscious, deliberate redirection of your focus toward the task, the goal, and the present moment. Cale returned to his life as an archer, now a master, not just of the bow, but of his own mind. He knew that the only way to hit any target in life was to master the art of carrying the water. The moral of the story is that self-discipline isn't about having a mind free of doubt or fear. It's the mental muscle that allows you to acknowledge those distractions and immediately refocus your energy on the task at hand.